I'm gonna be honest, last episode I lied to you guys. I actually love Starfield. Did I play it for the story? No. Did I enjoy its combat? Absolutely not. That was the worst RPG combat I think I've ever played. What I enjoyed about Starfield was building ships and flying them around. I'm honestly the equivalent of the guy who got Tears of the Kingdom only to build vehicles and do nothing of the main story. Which is funny because that's also what I did in Tears of the Kingdom as well. While playing Starfield, I was incredibly curious about coding space movements like that. So, I've decided to code my own starship mechanics on today's episode of Setting up the new project and placing down my character, I ran into my first problem. How do I control the ship? Like seriously, how do I control this ship? The best way to figure it out would be to boot up the most realistic flight simulator I have and start taking notes. After playing around for a while, I could tell that the system I wanted to do would be pretty difficult to control at first. I do want to allow the player to control all rotations of their ship, but maybe I'd make it toggleable like this? I think a nice way to do this would be a special type of thrusters I'll call battle thrusters, which allow for more precise movement, and overdrive of these thrusters could cause tight turns. Keep in mind this is only a couple minutes worth of practice, so I don't think it'd be too difficult for most people to get used to. So now I had an idea of what I wanted to do. There's just one thing I want to try out first. I tested out a basic version of Flight, then I used my resources and translated it into a simple state machine. Each ship can be given a different stat sheet, which allows for the individualization of each ship. In the main scene, I added some planets just so I could tell where I was going, honestly. It certainly wasn't for aesthetics. Then I need to add rotation while moving the mouse, which was difficult. You see, in most games, the player can only move the rotation on the y-axis. I need to move it on at least 2 axi. And if I wanted more realistic flight, all axes. Or axi, whichever one's right. In plain terms, these are called yaw, pitch, and roll, which are the terms I'll be using from now on. I first made the code completely from scratch. Calculating the pitch, I was able to travel in 2 dimensions now. Then I got stuck. After consulting the ancient texts, a YouTube tutorial, I could see that my code was definitely overcomplicated. It only felt slightly insulting that the channel's name was Kids Can Code, but I also know that he's definitely right. So back to the start again. After only an hour or 2, I was practically finished with the basic version. I had no clue why I didn't Google it before, which I also should have done for the World Generation video, but oh well. I still have lots to improve here. First, let's fix this environment. I fiddled around with the skies and planets until I got a result I was actually pretty happy with, considering it took me about 20 minutes. But now the ship looks pretty ass in comparison, so I slapped something together real quickly in Blockbench. If I had to describe it, I'd say made by the team who made Spore, but if they had 4 hours to work on it. And it crashed. I added control to rotation while braking and floating, just so you can orientate yourself better. I really need to fix this camera though. It's bugging me. The issues I have to address are related to movement mostly. For one, the rocket is exactly where it's supposed to be on screen, which you don't want. Variations make it look a lot more dynamic and like fluid. 2, you really can't tell if you're turning, which isn't good. My first attempt at this wasn't bad, minus whatever this was. And I got a result I was mostly happy with. I just have to make sure he stays closer to the center. Okay, I'm looking up another tutorial. Well, I can say I had the right idea. The big flaw I made was using a Godot node specifically made for 3D rotation of cameras. That's clearly my bad. Oh, and I tried some silly effects just for fun. My first attempt was pretty cartoony, but while trying to crash the game, I actually found something that looked pretty good. Also, I'm very impressed with Godot for being able to render 8,000 particles. After having that and attaching it to the flying script, I was able to have it go only when the ship is flying. I continued to tweak a couple of things and messed around with everything until I was at a point I was happy with. I also changed the ship again because this one was just garbage. And with that, I called this project complete. After a quick test run, of course. Thank you for making it to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. I definitely have more plans for this. Like, I want an actual HUD on both the inside and the outside of the ship. Definitely some shipbuilding features, because being stuck in this thing, while it's pretty cool, I'll admit, but I want more control over the ship, and I think everyone who might play this would as well. Yeah, check out my other videos. I have one about my first game, and one about world generation, which I mentioned in this video, but that one took me a long time. So I'm definitely more pleased with this one. Even though it is much shorter of a video, it definitely was much shorter to record as well, which is helpful. Yeah. Join in next time, working on some more game mechanics. Probably won't do a part 2 of this, but might do part 2 world generation, or might even do a whole new project altogether. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, all the generic YouTuber stuff, and I will see you in the next video.